Money on the line, Trace. Where's it going? Who's taking this series?
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Gen.G are about to win this. Holla!
Damn. Well, let's find out. It's 100 T's favored by the GG bet odds, and they are the favorites coming into the game. But will the upset potential be at an all-time high today to kick off the NA side of the road to Rio? Let's find out. Let's get into the action.
Let's do it. We're looking at a pistol round here for Gen.G on the T side. They're going to have a heavy lean towards this A site. Now, one thing that I did want to kind of notice out here is that there's a little guy on this site. His name is, well, JKS. He always finds himself playing around on the A bomb site. This map should be absolutely no different. So let's see what he's got in store for us. Gratisfaction's going to be there to help him out. We're going to see if they can hold the line. It's going to be JKS from under Balk, only good for one. Jacob with one as well. And so far, so good if you are on the side of Gen.G. Bintet is good for two. And that's going to be a real Aki Momo here for the 100 Thieves.
Yeah, Gratisfaction gets lost in that smoke, and it is just chaos here. Jacob trying to save the day. And while he does get it close, it is not close enough. Gen.G going to get this pistol round on the board. They'll move 1-0 up to kickstart this first map. And we will see this force buy coming in almost immediately from 100 Thieves. They want to try and keep the heat up, and I can't say I blame them. This round gets close, but a little bit uncomfortable, thanks to Bintet, who's able to run in and get himself three, already delivering on those promises that we made in the pre-show, where we kind of painted him as the man to keep an eye on.
Yeah, Bintet, interestingly enough, finding himself over here at the Gen.G Esports project, and it seems like he's found a home. Certainly a player with a lot of potential and everything needed to display that in the server.
Yeah, I mean, he's been shredding Tier 1 pros on a Tier 3 team his entire career. So, you know, now finally going over and being able to play with a roster that he can communicate with is certainly an upgrade. Let's hope that Gen.G can find a smooth road to Rio here. But the 100 Thieves, they want to pave it with cobblestone. They want to make it difficult. And they're going to be forcing up in this second round, as you said, Harry. Pistol armor, the smoke in the window comes down late in the round for Gen.G as they hold this steadfast default. Going to be taking top mid control now, and 100 Thieves, while they hear the utility go off, they have no information of the matter. They don't know what's going on. Liaz is up on the catwalk. It's a crossfire between him and Gratisfaction ticket side, and he's about to get his first contact.
Connector smoke there is going to give a lot more room to Gen.G as they try to work their way up catwalk 3 deep. Azur with the CZ from the top of the window, or excuse me, the ladder room. That's going to give Automatic a free pass to run on by with Kusta.
Ooh, they just give him the gun. They just say, okay, we'll take the site, but you can take the AK. That sets 100 Thieves up to come in for this retake here, but that smoke thrown down by Gen.G has really complicated things. It buys them even more time for this bomb plant, and at this point, even though Gratz found a kill, they might just consider straight up saving.
Yeah, you know, with an AK in your pocket, that's actually not too bad around for 100 Thieves. They're going to be pretty content with it. They're still floating around, still looking to try and deal damage here on Gen.G as they exit from the bomb site. Az is going to go ahead and reposition himself down here into the lower tunnels. Now, this does leave this AK, I was going to say irretrievable if he goes down, but you will note that JKS has just now moved in to come and join him. And yeah, there's a world in which you get out of this round with like 2 or 3 rifles. I mean, 2 really being the only number that's achievable. And you'll be pretty happy with that. But sadly, you know, the kills aren't going to come through. They're getting hunted, they're getting chased. But they do get away and do some pretty heavy damage in the process. So 100 Thieves are going to take that all day long. Likely just going to see some pistols invested into around these rifles.
It's true. And, you know, we kind of teased everybody talking a little bit about Cloud9. I know that everybody can't forget that they did win a major. Now that's interesting. But moreover, they do find themselves down now, 11-7 over there on Vertigo. So things not going as sprightly. It's actually going to be a 12th round. Meanwhile, we'll try to clean this one up.
Talking of, you know, Cloud9 major winners, we have one in the server right now in the form of Automatic. Quick switch from Bastion. He knew where I was going with that one. Well done.
Yeah, it's wild to think as well, right? Because when you look at him and you think about where everyone else has kind of found themselves, it's like him and Rush definitely ended up on like the worst end of the stick, it felt like, after that whole move. You know, like the majority of guys kind of stepping away. But it's nice to see Automatic here, now finding some success once again with the Gen.G squad. Som up through connector, does go running into this AK on Azur. And they might wish they didn't let him get away with this in the last round. My goodness, he has shut this entire round down single-handedly. And there's a chance for even more. It's only Daps left in a 1v4 up in Palace. He does get the late revenge onto Azur. 1v3. And Daps having to slow it right down now. The odds forever stacked against him, it feels like, hoping that one of these players are going to offer up an engagement. JKS playing this little rat position here, just keeping Daps' attention. It very much like denies him the ability to push out from Palace, and he knows that, so he's got to look for a new avenue into this round if he is going to attempt it. He goes back towards ramp, and JKS has heard that there. So they know he's here. Flash goes in, Daps is blind. Doesn't commit to the spray, so hasn't given up his position, but they have a hunch. Yeah. Now they've seen him. They know everything. Later. 15 seconds, Daps is out of there. He doesn't want any part in this round. And 100 Thieves on the back of Az's AK. Gonna find their first on the board here.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Ta in the server, we're talking about that Cloud9 lineup. Obviously, yeah, that kind of has been parted away. You know, it kind of has been piece by piece. Spread out throughout the entirety. I mean, you think about what happened to Stu and Tarek. They went over to MIBR for a little while. Now Tarek's on Evil Geniuses. Stu's playing with Liquid. Rush is with Complexity. Tim right here, obviously, within the side of Gen.G. Now, there's this guy. His name is Skadoodle. Yeah. Now, Skadoodle, not playing competitive Counter-Strike anymore, but
he abandoned us.
Certainly a professional gamer.
Is this you announcing his return?
You know what? I have no comment.
No? Oh,
I'll save it for later then. Jacob, he survives. The Molotov goes out and the smoke thrown down by 100 Thieves, and so he's able to fight middle, but the flashbangs will eventually push him back. Nice shot from Grat with the AWP, getting that nice and early into this game in round number 4, and he finds first blood, dropping Daps at the top of middle. But Tet does get himself an AK to play with.
That's the thing, right? Like, winning that last round is great for 100 Thieves, not just because, you know, they do it with only an AK and they've wrecked Gen.G's money, but because they weren't anticipating to win that round anyway. Graz faction had enough money or was saving money to try and bring this AWP out, and it's allowed him to do it here in round 4 with very little resistance on the other side. So this AWP is immediately on the table for 100 Thieves. And you think about Graz faction with that weapon, in Pro League, even when 100 Thieves didn't do that incredibly, he was pretty much like one of the consistent players turning up in this squad with that AWP in hand. Now, bomb plant found over here at the B bomb site, but shouldn't be much more found on the back of it. Kusta does have Liaz trapped over on short side, but yeah, not going to come through. He gets out P250 there in the head-to-head. Defuse comes in, and they're going to tie this one up now, 2-2. Bomb plant for Gen.G, but a full investment in that round likely just means it's going to be a handful of pistols here into this one. And so this is where 100 Thieves, if all goes to plan, they should find themselves 3-2 up over the Gen.G squad.
Yeah, that was just kind of a best of a bad situation round there for Gen.G, right? They at least get a bomb plant, that's pretty good. Bentet, he had to lurk up catwalk after he lost Daps to the AWP in top mid, and he's only able to get away with 1 kill off that AK. Talking of kills, Som yet to frag on the server, but you know, obviously money has been a bit of a problem here for Gen.G. So, Eco to continue. And then the guns coming out in round number 6. We'll see how many Grat can find in middle. Couple of flashbangs to get them out into position. Daps does have those ready and waiting. It's a good flash. Jacob's pushing mid, and the run boost is great. Som gets out into position and finds that kill. It's a gun dropped in the open. Grat looks to hold on to it. He's given away his position with his AWP, but that won't be too much of a surprise. They're going to start running at him, and it's a firing line for Grat. Not two. Daps does get that trade. That's a great shot for the P250 by him and Automatic combining for the kill. And as overwhelmed on the A site, this is falling apart for 100 Thieves. It's just down to the in-game leader. It's just down to Daps, and he's yet to find himself a gun.
Now Daps, with his big old brain on his shoulders, he's concluded that this B site might be free. And, well, the B site turns out to be free. So let's see. I mean, Liaz is over here, over at the short side in the ladder room, but he's not going to be in a position to deny this bomb plant. So already for Gen.G, this is shaping up to be a good round, right outside of the damage they've done, outside of finding the bomb plant as well. There's still a chance for Daps to do even more in this 1-on-2 once he gets this planted. So now tapping in the numbers. JKS is a very, very long way away, and Liaz peaks early. Daps is now trapped here, stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Liaz is the rock, JKS. He's the hard place.
And he's gone all the way around for the short side rotation. So Daps doesn't know that the market's clear, but it is. And he's still just holding in this sight, tries to catch the timing, and he has just about gotten around the corner. JKS is holding, Daps fires out a shot. Someone's going to get on this bomb sometime soon, and they do deal with Daps. They grab the defuse. At 100 Thieves, they take their time, but they get that third round on the board. Not as clean as maybe I'd promised you, but it does still come in. The AWP was retrieved by JKS as well at the end of the round there. That's important to note. He ran to mid as soon as that defuse was coming in.
You can see the process of the thought process there by 100 Thieves in that 2-on-1, right? They're taking it very slow. They're giving away the bomb site because they don't want to get caught in rotation in a 2-on-1, and so they just go for the retake together up cat. They take it very slow. They let Daps do his thing, and then they realize that Daps isn't giving them a fight. He's just playing the bomb. They were waiting for an engagement, so they just push both sides of the site and pincer him. They trap him in the middle. So nice reaction there from 100 Thieves. Like you said, scary, but a round's a round. They got 3 to their name. It's a heavy mid-take here attempted by Gen.G, but they can't even get past the cross. As Liaz and Azza get aggressive on the catwalk, they fire off shots. No one's gone down, though. No one's even taken damage yet, as Gen.G have distracted 100 Thieves from the true worry, which is the B site. Som is already so deep here, and there is a man just coming through the market. Grat finding the right timing into B, but will he find the shots that connect?
Yeah, there's actually, pretty much a 3-man hold here at the B site now for 100 Thieves. So even as they've dealt with Gratisfaction, this double rotate towards short side was meant to come in and save the day, but instead it all gets made very, very close in this back and forth. But Automatic with the AWP kill onto Jacob should have solidified this round. And 100 Thieves are already backing out.
They already know. Bentet's hunting. The bomb's not even planted. He's hunting kills. He's looking for flanking players. He's looking for lurks. And he might find them up in the A site. Automatic gets a crucial kill on Jacob coming through the market. He gets mollied, and then he tries to move, and he gets stuck on a shelf or something, a wall. And that just gives him a messy peek into the angle, which obviously, you're not going to win against an AWP. And they don't. 100 Thieves going down in this one, 3-3. Gen.G keeping this competitive nice and early on, which is exactly what we wanted, and they will be able to save these guns on the CT side as Bentet has gone towards a spawn rather than a palace. But Gen.G aren't too worried, right? They're happy just being able to build their own economy up, have 4 alive, get guns, something to fall back on moving forward. And they certainly may need to if 100 Thieves pick up the pieces moving forward themselves. They've got money for it.
That they do, Hugo. Byron. 3-3 is where we find ourselves. Harry, can you believe it?
Yeah, I kind of can't believe it. Like Gen.G doing a stellar job thus far. And they played that round to perfection. Now, are they going to keep that going here? Automatic with this AWP. Going to go ahead and leave ramp after that peak wasn't afforded to him early on. Mid control attempted here by Gen.G, and Automatic might look to have his say in the matter now as he moves into the mid lane. Jacob is here in connector. Alongside him is JKS and Gratisfaction. A very, very heavy presence here towards connector side. And with Gen.G grouping up in mid, there's a good chance that they'll get to discover this 3-man hold down in the connector. Flash is good. No one peeks on the back of it. There's the peek from Gratisfaction. It's a bit chaotic down in middle, but Bentet trying to keep this one under control. Does get caught out. Kusta now all alone. Has dealt with the first man, spots Liaz over on catwalk and gets a decent bit of damage off. Isn't even tagged in the process. This bomb belongs to 100 Thieves, and that Molotov has given this away to Kusta. Now he knows it's a battle against the clock and not just a battle against these 2 players on the 100 Thieves side. How on earth is he gonna go about getting this bomb back? Because the nades have just been raining in to keep him at bay. That Molotov forced JKS out into the open, but it was timed with a bit of a double peek from Liaz. Kusta's just got nowhere to go, man. He's so paranoid about where these players could be, and there they are. They're both in top middle, 100 Thieves. They find that one, they put a 4th on the board.
Really good detail for 100 Thieves is right as they're going for that mid crunch. It's not just a heavy connector setup. They wanted to push mid from the start of the round. Azza was lining up a flash on the catwalk, but right before he throws it, a pop flash comes in from Gen.G and full whites, all 3 players in connector. 100 Thieves stop for a second, and that's when those situations can really fall apart as a CT who's looking to take map control. But instead, Grat flashes flashes them back in, they go for a second try, and it works out far better than you could have expected. Getting that 2-on-1 and shutting it down. 100 Thieves back on the board. Could have gotten dicey with strong utility from Gen.G. And they've got more of that where that came from. Another buy round.
Yeah, they do. Just for some extra clarity, just want to remind you all, Bintet is not from Poland. So we can stop that meme right where it started.
Public service announcements.
That's a PSA on the house. That one was for free. Now we're going to see if Gen.G can find some rent-free over here in this A bomb site, perhaps, if they want to elect to go through the connector area. Looks like that's where they want to put some pressure. Top connector smoke, automatic's going to peel back. That might just be an audible. That might just be a game plan change.
Yeah, they definitely want the window room, but not rushing to take it. Something 100 Thieves abuse a lot on the T side of Mirage as well. You're constantly going to see that in that second half. Throwing in late window smokes and boosting from under. Gen.G just chilling for the time being. That's a good shot. Automatic going down in the connector. Bintet's got good map control from this cap position, but Gen.G, they're just walking into a death trap. Big kill from Daps. He's going to trade things out. Kusa has to come through on a ramp split. Still 2 players inside of the A site, and that's not going to be what Gen.G are expecting, especially with 20 seconds left. That's a spray that goes the way of Kusa. Jacob will not be expected here. He can win this round.
He could. He gets the lineup, too. It's only going to be Daps, and he finds. Can't turn around. Can't pivot onto Jacob. Excuse me, onto Kusta. But don't worry, this fight's certainly still here. A little bit of time left, and now that's all gone awry. The bomb being planted, and they're getting eaten alive. Liaz, Bintet, one-on-one with the bomb planted in the A site. Bintet comes out on top, and that's going to be another round for Gen.G. Got chaotic there. They get it done.
Hey, talking of chaos, though, I think this team lives in chaos. This team breathes chaos, and they have been really, really good at, in these sloppy, in these messy situations, just adjusting well and focusing on the crosshairs, hitting the shots you need to hit, rather than, overcomplicating things. And then, Daps, again, is an in-game leader, often proving his weight and, not necessarily getting held out in rosters for as long as many people think he deserves to be. And this is a great roster for him to prove his stock, prove his value. And right now, well, money, it's flowing for Gen.G. They've got 4 kills in middle. Just as a left up, not long for him. He gets a kill, but quickly traded by the SMG, and that's a 5th.
And that's just a testament as to, it's always Daps. He always draws the short straw. In there, only one to die in the round. So, unfortunate.
What can you do? So, sacrificial in-game leader, Trace.
Yeah.
You put yourself first. Well, I guess you put your team first. Physically, you put yourself first so you can get traded.
No. You put your team physically first, and then you try to clean up the round 1v4 at the end.
The Trace style.
That's not the Trace style. But it is a style of sorts. Can't say that I live and breathe by that.
Well, right now, Gen.G are certainly looking stylish. 5 rounds on the T side and money being made. Another run boost to get automatic out and about. There's an AWP on the CT side. Grat is running that weapon over towards a palace. Gen.G just taking their time once again in this default. 3 in mid. Kusta again coming through the A ramp. This could be a late A take. You would imagine players from the T spawn will go back in, or from top mid rather, will go back in through T spawn to get that bomb. But Kusta can always grab it as well. Don't always want your bomb on its own, because that means one death from Kusta can lose Gen.G the round. So he's going to group up with his team instead, move away from that A site. He shows his presence early, and 100 Thieves are going to have to consider that for the rest of the round. Gen.G grouping B, and only one man here. This is the perfect time to strike.
Yeah, smoking towards top con, and that's going to allow Gen.G to try and get up here through short into this B split. Now, Jacob's position in the window is the one thing that could look to throw a bit of a spanner in the works, but he's just not been able to find Bintet over on the catwalk. And this has at least prompted a rotation around from Azza. You might need a few more guys here at the B site, though, as now Gen.G try and pour on in. The flashbangs are good, And that's going to allow Liaz to get one. Azza is still hidden here. And just as he's gotten into this position, they make contact with Jacob inside of Market. So they don't know. You know, they've killed 2 players at A. They might think that this site is clear as a result. And Azza still close. Now giving up his position. He gets wrapped onto. And the whole round falls apart. Gen.G, 6 on the board.
No one was covering the plant. Automatically was double scope from the van into Market window. That's about as close as it gets. But if Azza swung there off the sound of that plant noise that Kusta was making, he probably would have dropped a bomb. That could have been an entirely different round for 100 Thieves. Of course, you know, there's still a window where Automatic hits a shot, but he wasn't looking in the right place at the right time.
Now, just taking a peek over here on the other side of your screen, you're going to see the Triumph are up 15-11. Make that 16-11. They win that first map there of Vertigo over Cloud9. So boo-boo face to all the Cloud9 fans. And, of course, sleeping on them you may.
Sheikh Zeller, in one of the players in Triumph, Fallen recently called him one of the top in-game leaders in NA, which is, wow. Like, for many people who maybe don't follow the NA scene or past Tier 1, they're going to go, who? But that's quite a you know, medal.
I think every time I hear that, who, I just picture the Soldier Boy gif where he's like, who? Drake? You know, it's like, anyway, carry on.
No, that was my point, Trace.
Yeah, I was just really trying to...
Kind of interesting.
I think it opened up like I'm pretty sure it was Sheikh Zilla who like started this whole conversation as well about like the challenges of being an IGL in NA, right? And how like a lot of organizations don't want to take a chance on a new in-game leader, right? Because you are unproven.
Yeah.
You don't have, and it's very, very hard to become a proven IGL.
Exactly.
I think that's why you have to look at players like, I think like Golden is a good example of that, right? Like someone who grinded their way up and earned the respect of this now Fnatic squad. And I mean, they're delivering great results,
he's
right?
kind of a crazy talking point. When you talk of respect as well, right? Like coming up from from being so inexperienced and then leading legends of the game to tournament victories, like that's crazy.
By the way, this is
Fnatic for believing in him.
This is a nuts save from Jacob. Like, you know, we're just talking over it because usually, right, he just gets away with the AK, hides in a little hole for a bit, and then is all good. But he's actually been able to shut down the 3 players that were trying to hunt him.
Yeah, Gen.G's hunts have been pretty weak this game. Like, you know, we're early days, but every time they've sent players hunting, they've lost players hunting.
Yeah, they've not come back. It's not been the best.
One-way train ticket.
But yeah, Gen.G still, it doesn't matter, right? The hunting doesn't matter if you're getting the rounds on the board, and they are 7-4 up. They're feeling pretty about this one right now. And you can see the current match over at the B stream. EG versus Auglis is currently 13-8 to EG.
Oh,
but
even that's a spoiler for me. I just turned around, it's 12-8.
Auglis are putting a few more rounds up on the board.
Yeah, that they are. Orglis consisting of Wardell, Ye, Sabrosa, Infinite, and of course the 4D chess mastermind nominated in the year of 2019, 2018, FNS.
The breaker of Brazil, we call him.
First of his name.
That's a close shot.
There we go. Daps kind of isolated out here, but no one's really peeking him, so he's going to be all right. Tim Ta can be not far behind him as well. AWP in his hands. Slow start here for Gen.G in this round. They don't want to force and really over-aggress and get punished for it. They know the 100 Thieves know what they're doing. Right now, Gen.G has their number.
Well, here comes the A set piece here from Gen.G rather. We haven't seen this before. 100 Thieves cut out of the site. They've got no one inside of it. Only Jacob who can really battle for it towards the stairs, and the smoke comes down. You can actually go above. There's no stairs smoke, so a quick fight won by Kusta. He was ready for that engagement. A plan set by Gen.G, a trap, if you will. Bentet is waiting in one of his own, and they're going to walk right into it. Out through the smoke, as is gone. Bentet, he can line up more. He finds some damage, but won't convert the kill. That opens up the possibility for retake, but as soon as it's open, Daps closes it down, dropping Gratisfaction and that AWP with it. One plant is open. What the hell can 100 Thieves even do here? The save is probably the best call, and this time they're being flanked. This time, the kills might come through for Gen.G after time.
And now that we got like a little moment, right? Like we spoke about Buntet a fair bit, but like when I was, you know, like taking a look and kind of going through some old interviews when he was first moved into this Gen.G team, he was talking a lot about, you know, like kind of like how his whole career started, and it's very, very interesting, right? Like with his original move from Indonesia to China, and how like he had to convince his parents because they weren't really like on board with the idea at first, right? And he said like up until then, he'd never lived anywhere apart from his home country. So it was like a huge move, but he moved to China, it all like worked out. And then he was saying in these interviews how America obviously has like even more cultural differences, right? So he was kind of worried about like how he's going to slot into this team on like a personal level. But then about a month later, Som came out with this really good interview saying how like in the team, Buntet is like the funny, like very charismatic, very like,
I like that. That's
very,
good.
you know, like he's always keeping everyone hyped. And I think in this team where you've got, you know, like Daps, who's like a very chill guy who keeps his cool all the time. You know, you've got like Automatic and Kusta in there as well, who are also pretty chilled out. I think it's nice to have someone, especially that someone happening to be Buntet, being the guy who everyone looks as like, you know, the hype man in the team.
So basically, we might even call him Wholesome Hansel.
Yeah, Wholesome Hansel. I like that.
Hansel.
That's
Wholesome
good.
Hansel.
Let's make it stick.
Yeah, let's see if it sticks. Like spaghetti at the fridge.
Yeah, talking of sticks, well, Azza got stuck in the back of his shoulder blades with a knife by his teammate at the start of the round. I think it was Grap, but I didn't quite catch it. I was just looking at the positions of the map. It won't be a bother, it won't be matter, as Azza finds two in middle before the trades are in. Underpass split is well timed. Gen.G keep things in their favor, and no guns for the remaining players of this CT side.
Yeah, it's Som's over here in B by himself. He's giving that radio in. They're going to go ahead and traverse through the halls. This is all the freedom of movement that they could have possibly asked for. Still so much time left on the clock, too. Here comes Jacob from the underpass. He could be that thorn in the side. He's going to have to get a move on it, though. Oh. Perhaps he can catch Kusta with his back out here.
I like how Som was playing B. He'd taken it early, but you know he didn't want to push into market, so he just hides bench and assumes if anyone for 100 Thieves comes to check B, they go, oh, B's clear. They walk into the site, boom, they're dead. So no one does. 100 Thieves might not even consider looking at the B site in this round, as they haven't even found Kusta in the apartments, and he's probably the terrible threat right now with the bomb planted for him, and pretty good position. No one coming, though. He will have to be the one to move and move into the crosshairs of Jacob. Had his fair share of exits already today. Boom. So Grenade going to go past Molotov, the same story, and Jacob will spray and pray. 2 kills. Buntet's gone down with a bomb. Grenade doesn't matter, Jacob. You've done it all. 4 rounds for 100 Thieves. Still on this CT side is not going to be enough. They've been getting away with a lot of saves, but they've got to do something with the guns they're holding on to.
Them glorious potatoes starting to count up now. We're looking at 9 rounds for Gen.G. They're really stacking them here. Now on their T side, that does bode well. If you think about the start of a best of 3, you've gotten started on the T side. You're currently up by several rounds. Got to be feeling a little comfortable, certainly building some confidence.
Oh.
Yeah, missed opener there from Gratisfaction. And now Jacob's going to have his attempt. And oh my goodness, Buntet was not ready for that quick flick from Jacob. Thankfully, Automatic was. And this is now, I was going to say, maybe kept Gen.G in this round, but suddenly put into a 2-on-4. Automatic and Kusta, they've got to do a lot of the heavy lifting in this one. And already a 3-man setup over here towards the A-bomb site. Gratisfaction actually begins to move away. They don't know where these 2 remaining players are, and now at least they know where Kusta resides. Azza pushing on up in towards T-spawn, looking to go on a very long wrap in behind enemy lines, and that means for Liaz and Gratisfaction, all they've got to do is hold the line. They've just got to wait. They don't even have to really take these fights if they don't want to, because they can wait for Azza to move into the back line, but it doesn't matter. Azza was never needed. He was just a backup plan. 100 Thieves going to get that 5th round on the board and trying to salvage this first half, because Gen.G, you know, they're already very, very happy with this scoreline. And 100 Thieves, you know, 6-9, definitely recoverable, definitely doable.
And it's the saved AKs for 100 Thieves that make all the difference. Here, look at this. Just unbelievable transfer from Jacob. The second he flicks, the first bullet lands in the head of Buntet. And, well, we think about Azza taking that AK and getting 4 kills in a rifle round. That's another example of that. These saves do have some bonuses for 100 Thieves, but right now they're looking for rounds, and a 6th on the board would be lovely. Great flashes, get Buntet up catwalk. Everyone's white, Azza especially, and he's gone down. Buntet gets a big kill for Gen.G to open up this round. 100 Thieves, they're going to be spread thinly. They're going to have to adjust this setup now on the CT side, giving up A, but that's exactly where the hit's coming through.
Last round of the half. Gen.G would like to close the door here on 100 Thieves 10-5. But will they? They've stacked up appropriately towards this A site, and so far there's nobody in the site. However, rotation would not be too far off in the form of Gratisfaction and Jacob, as the AWP does find itself nestled in the jungle. He's able to traverse, watch this window area, and watch the A site. They're going to molly him out, though.
Look how scared they are for Bentet. He went back to T-Spawn, he rejoined the team, but all 100 Thieves are looking at is connector. All they're looking at is ladder room, and now the push is coming from the behind. They are not ready for 5 players out the ramp, and Gen.G are just going to slap them back out of this round. 10 looking guaranteed for the halftime score as Liaz looks to do the impossible.
Yes, very much the impossible, but he's got pretty much the entirety of Gen.G looking down their crosshairs at him. Either way, we're going to a break. We're going to come back with the conclusion of Mirage before we jump into Dust 2 and Inferno. This is 100 Thieves taking on Gen.G. You're watching The Road to Rio, BRB.
Never let you double cross them. Moving through the city like it's Gotham. They told me get one, so I got one. Stop saying you're a boss when you not one. You ain't sacrificed, nah, you ain't lost none. All over the gram like you got a bag. You ain't big dog, we ain't hear none of that. I'm in the gym looking like a running back. And you know the flow, got him coming back. Who I was in the past, I'm unattached. Only focus in this moment is bringing the summer back. Oh, respect my grind, elevate souls, and I spread good vibes. Young divine, you know I gotta shine. Raise your hands for a good time. Aye.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you want it, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move. We move, we move. 3, 2, bringing summer to you.
Oh, ready, let's go. 'Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go. 'Cause you know, like I know, we'll take it round and round. Yo, hold up, let me switch my flow up. Back in high school, they were telling me I'll blow up. Doing talent shows and man, everyone will show up. Got in an accident and still made it for them to go nuts. You know what? I'm so what? I'm so That means I can't describe the way I vibe, the way I slide. And with the rhymes that make the dimes, I'll close their eyes and fantasize. Young divine calling their phone number. Yeah. No, you know I love you. What's up, babe? And you know me, I can't sleep without blazing beats on stages for their ones gracefully. And I got a smile that they hate to see. Young black successful, though life gets stressful. Though life gets stressful, go and vibe out with whoever you next to.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon.
Yeah.
You said that.
Welcome back to the Gen.G show, everybody, where we're going to be watching them continue to push the 100 Thieves around. Oddly enough, the GG.bet odds will tell you that that is not what's going on here. However, that is not the case. As you can tell, a 10-5 scoreline run up there by Gen.G in the first half. We're not going to see them switch over to that CT side. And what can they do here? That's going to be the big question. One thing to look out for at this moment is going to be the fact that JKS likes to hang out on the extremities, as well as you can see over there in the little screen, little pip, if you will, the picture-in-picture. EG, just one round away from putting 40 Chess King F&S down.
Easier said than done, but so are these B executes. Som's been smoked off, and 100 Thieves are all over the site. No one here. Full retake here for Gen.G. Not the prime position in Mirage. A 10-player alive B post plant. You don't see this every day, and it's not going to be an easy one to get back in against these Glocks.
You haven't just tuned into a retake server right now. This actually is the pistol round of the second half of 100 Thieves Gen.G. And it's a 5-on-5 retake, so let's see if this goes about as well as you would expect. And it kind of has to begin with. There's the kill on Elias, at least to give them a chance, but a chance might not be enough. That's shut down. 4 players stay alive for 100 Thieves, and that goes from a 5-on-5 to 4 players surviving for the Aussies very, very quickly.
It feels like when you're in those situations as a CT, if you don't get that first kill, like the first bullet off, you come around the corner and you headshot him. If that doesn't happen, this happens. You can see missed shot, then Liaz just mows him down with a Glock on this close corner. And it feels like, you know, the second that kill comes through from Liaz, everyone for 100 Thieves is looking at Catwalk. Gen.G is just getting, you know, walking into the belly of the beast, if it were. So a quick and an easy pistol for 100 Thieves can certainly put them back on track.
Word painless might even be used.
Not for Gen.G, that's for sure.
That is the case. And here we are, set up for, well, 1 scout for Gen.G. That's what they're going to be boistering in this round. It's going to be automatic. Perhaps he can do something with it. Finds himself currently in the window room, gets a tag on Azza. And he's going to look for a little bit more. He knows he's not alone up there. Can't seem to land the shot, the second one at least, and he's going to get the window smoked out. So that fight's done for now. Oh, ready, let's go.
Around the world and back again. 100 Thieves in middle of familiar territory. But not for long, because it seems like they're going to back up. A few players walking towards the top, but they will commit towards the connector later with the smoke down in the window. No one's splitting A for them. Only a man coming in late through underpass. So it is a full commitment in middle right now for 100 Thieves. They're just looking for fights. And I love this from Gen.G. Not giving anything away. Not even giving away info. 40 seconds, 35 now. And there's yet to be a kill. And Gen.G is still tucking, waiting for the commitment.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this timer. It will just keep on ticking down, funnily enough. And so eventually you've got to pick up the pace. You've got to get into the site. And as they try to do that, they do get past these pistols. Buntet still a threat, but does get shut down, leaving Som and Automatic as the only 2 players left stand. Uh-oh, don't stick it there. Thankfully, they didn't. And there we go. It's all been dealt with. Everything was fine. It's all under control. 100 Thieves, they get the 7th round on the board. They tease us with a little connector plant when there's a guy on short, but it's not real. They go ahead and plant that behind the box. They get a 7th round on the board. And now it's just an eco for Gen.G. So 100 Thieves well and truly back into this map, right? This is the start they needed if they wanted to keep it competitive. They get the pistol. They find the conversions. No little upsets today.
Just wait. They're going to win a full eco now, Harry.
It's going to happen. There's 1 flash on Daps. It's going to do everything.
Oh, Som showing off the movement, getting up onto the catwalk. The grenades in window don't actually do that much considering Kusta has no armor. But Som, he is armed with only a USP and he's going to get away with a kill. Pushing close, but it's enough distraction to get another frag for Buntet. He's got himself a gun. Jacob's trapped at the top of middle. He's got to try and stay alive. Daps has gone through a Molotov. It is pandemonium. Daps might find the bomb, but he also might find a bullet to the face by this player in T-spawn. Goodbye. The grenade will hit perfectly. And 100 Thieves, 8 rounds. It's a heart attack, Harry. They can't give us a calm round. They can't let us breathe. If they win it, it has to be scrappy.
Why would they let us breathe? My goodness. So much chaos. Pandemonium.
But at the end of the day, rounds around and 8 on the board. But now's the buy for Gen.G in the second half. AWP out for Automatic. Grap will be meeting him in the middle.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? We know 100 Thieves, they love this window connector position over in mid. So I'm really curious to see what Daps and co have got up their sleeve to try and deal with it.
Well, even more so, they like getting that boost up in the window.
Yeah.
You know, they like to really try to exploit the backlines here, as you can tell. So far, 100 Thieves just doing this as if it's a a favor to get this round out of the way.
Yeah, this doesn't. They don't even need flanks, Trace. They don't need the backline. They just want every opening duel that they got given. And yeah, Gen.G, that can happen a lot of the times on CT side where you just feel comfortable and you go into a round, you're like, all right, guys, let's, everyone just focus, get back on it. You don't even necessarily have a game plan. You're just, posting up, and then boom, you lost 3 fights, and well, there it is. It's the save, because what else can you do with this buy? Unfortunately, not having the AWP in middle as well, but we know that that window smoke is going to be prolific on this T side. So if Automatic were to go window, he probably wouldn't get a whole lot of value off of that position. And you'd much rather a rifle there that can at least float, drop mid, support A site, and of course deal with a player pushing through a window smoke. Right now, these saves will be allowed. 100 Thieves give the respect away of Gen.G somewhat, as guns are saved inside of the B site and underpass. Some has to be very careful, though. Luckily, the timing is good for him. Peeks as Grat leaves. But 9-10, 100 Thieves nipping at the heels of Gen.G.
Yeah, they're certainly not in the business of letting them run away with it, right? And now these 2 players that saved, okay, they can drop rifles over. You can still pull a buy together, but you really are pinching pennies over here on this CT side at this point, right? And that reset is still very much looming in a sense of the word. And yeah, they don't decide to drop weapons over. Instead, they play it safe. They're going to have Automatic and Som try and do as much as they can in this round with the AWP and M4. And this at least allows Gen.G to play for the long game. And honestly, I'm a fan of this call, right? You'd see some teams look to invest here. You'd have 4 rifles. You would have pretty much everything. Ooh. But instead, you're going to rely on this AWP and M4 with a safety net of a buy in the next round. And already, Automatic has opened this round up with 1.
And with every kill that you get like that, you give a gun over to Gen.G. Bentet picked himself up an AK Automatic. He's dropping more corpses in the middle. And although these guns aren't retrievable, the round certainly is for Gen.G. 5 on 3. Deeg is ready, drops the bomb, looking for a follow-up, does damage, and Daps will finish it with a CZ. It's only Liaz alone in the apartments, and boy, have they got his number. And that's an 11th round. Gen.G, they get it done flawlessly. What a crazy one. Automatic forcing fights down ramp, and guns gifted over. Truly is worth its weight in gold for Gen.G.
And Som, now that's a player I kind of want to talk about while we have just a couple seconds here. This is a player that has, he kind of emerged out of nowhere, really. Found himself playing over there with the Old Guys Club, interestingly enough. Was a streamer for Complexity for a while. He went on to play in the Envy project, and albeit it wasn't a vast amount of time, but still, he now finds himself on Gen.G, and it does seem like they've adequately used him on this lineup to this point. Now, of course, he was part of this team that did win the DreamHack Open in Anaheim, so that's also something to consider.
He was MVP there as well, his first LAN with the team, so that's really awesome. What a very confident, a very aggressive young player, and wow, these rounds are just go like clockwork, right? They're just ticking past us. 5 alive again. That's 3 rounds in a row.
That's the thing, man. You love a Daps team for this reason, right? They always seem to play this style of CS, where these rounds will just come through where like it just feels like the enemy team haven't even had a chance. Like a lot of the smokes this Gen.G squad throw are kind of like with the intention of baiting 100 Thieves into a peak that they think is favorable, and that's something you'll see Gen.G do quite a lot, right? They even did it back on the T side. You think about like those CT smokes that they were throwing with like or leaving the stairs smoke out, for example, right? Yeah. It's a lot of like these gimmicks is probably the wrong word. You're like trying to force an engagement early that the opponent believes is favorable and believes is like a mistake on your end, when really, you're using it to your advantage.
For sure. Like as a CT there, you look at that stairs smoke and you go, oh, they smoked everything but stairs. I've got an opportunity to get information and or kills. And well, Gen.G in their heads, they're going, this guy's going to peek stairs.
Yeah, because he can only peek stairs.
Right? It's smart. I like the concept. Yeah.
And we did talk about this. It looks like they want to flirt with the idea of at least putting a player in a window.
There it is.
So far, Az are just holding a very tight angle, trying to catch Tim Ta off and maybe even opening the door to the A site. But just pistols over here for the side of 100 Thieves. Now, interestingly enough, a player like JKS really not having a career-high game here, albeit he was the highest-rated player on his team throughout the duration of Pro League Season 11. That was just, a week ago. So Slow start for the young Savage.
Azza shooting twice while running across the bench. The first shot covers the footstep made on the bench wood, and the second shot covers the landing outside of the window. That will get him into position, but right now that position isn't of much value. The rest of his team are dead. It's just JKS getting spammed on ramp, waiting for Azza on this wrap. Now he is coming in on it, and he might be able to get himself potentially 2 kills. The question is, do Gen.G check it? Do they consider it? And yes, they do. The perfect time. Azza was hungry for Tim Tams. Instead, all he got was Tim Ta, and it's a Gen.G round on this CT side.
Now that was something eloquently
Yeah,
beautiful.
that was
Thank you
probably
so
one of
much.
your best ones, Hugo. That's going in the montage. Someone clip it, right? That was good. You get it right, like Tim Tam, like
I got my
a Tim
Australian
Tar,
culture,
right? Like,
yeah. I don't
kind of
even
lines
read.
up.
What are they? Penguin bars?
They basically are, but
Okay,
way
yeah.
better. But
Yeah,
way
I've heard
better.
they're
Wait,
good. Yeah.
like a penguin? What the hell is a penguin bar?
Oh, it's-
British, like biscuit-based
It's like, yeah, it's
confectionery.
like, you know Tim Tams, but it's like British.
Right, you
yeah,
imagine it's like a chocolate-covered biscuit. That's pretty much it. So,
Interesting.
let's see. I mean, Gen.G, they're trying to take more than a couple of biscuits in this round, but Jacob, he just steps up and takes the whole feast, mate. He gets both of them. 2 kills down here in mid. And a man advantage presenting itself in a very big way for 100 Thieves. Azza does come in clutch with another down into the connector. And now for Som, who's alone at this A-bomb site, could have his work cut out for him as that bomb starts to rotate back through T-spawn, an aggressive position held in the window room. However, this bomb is alone. And yeah, Grassfaction now starting to clear out the A-bomb site. They should be aware that a player could be here in CT.
Does Som even want to give away his position? Because the issue is, like, he's in a good spot to get kills, but as soon as he fires his first shot, all players are looking towards him. He gets dinked a second after through the wall. So this is a very rough situation for Som. He doesn't really want to retake. He also can't get out and save because his cross is being covered, or at least so he thinks. It is not right now. Gratz just moved off. So Som finds his timing, finds his angle, and escapes temporarily. That's why. Az is already waiting for him. Automatic now alone. It's going to be a 10th round for 100 Thieves.
But these are the rounds that they've been picking up on this T side, right? In the rifles. It has been whenever Gen.G have tried to like go for the aggression or tried to take a bit of initiative. We've normally, and usually it's been Jacob as well, right? The man to offer them up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be something that 100 Thieves can rely on every single round. We need to see them being the ones to take the initiative. So there, they shut down the attempted push from Gen.G, but I imagine Gen.G aren't going to go back to that double mid play anytime soon, especially with results like this. You know, being the kind of fruits of that play. And so now we need to see 100 Thieves go back to what they do best, just play their own game over here on the T side.
Hit their shots.
Hit their shots. And those are 2 of the most important things.
Yeah.
If post-game
And
interviews have taught me
confidence.
anything. Let's see, Kusta in the window.
Ooh.
Takes a bit of damage, but not really anything to write home about. Smoke goes in, and that's allowed 100 Thieves to populate this mid area once again. And yeah, much more reserved approach from Gen.G in this round. So let's see if it goes the same as it often has in the past. And that's where the man advantage is plucked away from 100 Thieves. And indeed it is in this round. Kusta through the smoke, deals with Azza, boosted aggressively into the window. And so now Gen.G sit in this 5-on-4. All the pressure on 100 Thieves. They're going to go back and grab this bomb, try and hit the B site. Som gets the information that there's players in the apartments.
Yeah, risky second jump, but he goes for it and he gets a reposition off. Daps is covering the wide swing, and they're going to both pile in damage to finish off the kill. JKS trading and Grat down on Cat. It's a dead round for 100 Thieves. They would have loved that window lurk. They would have loved a player coming in behind enemy lines, but Kusta's just shooting smokes and getting rid of man advantages. It's going to be 14 up for Gen.G. It's their map pick in the series. Got Dust 2 coming up next, Inferno as a third. And only 2 rounds away from the first being in their pocket. The money for 100 Thieves is not there either, and they're going to force it up. I imagine we see a faster B approach with this. I say that, the bomb's going A. So what's the game plan here? 2 rifles, a MAC-10 and 2 pistols? This is, well, a bit of a mixed bag.
Well, what really worked for the 100 Thieves here was, you know, I think it was 2 rounds ago, they really turned the pace up. They really applied pressure in middle, and that's just almost seemingly caught Gen.G off guard. It's like, you know, we haven't seen you approach it like this so far. And that really did go a long way. Anyway, Kusta and Azza are having a little bit of an awkward situation there.
Oh.
And meanwhile, Bintet is absolutely nuts. Shuts down the A site all by himself. Kusta just hopping around, doing what a Kuster does.
That's way better.
I think it's like a chicken anyway.
Kusa's been sick in this team. I think, he's definitely a player who's had his fair share of flack. He's been...
Some deservedly.
Yeah, sure. And that's the thing. People change, players change over time. And, he's had his shots. He was about in Liquid. He was in CLG, old school teams, right? Never really finding his place in the tier 1 scene. But he's looked really good as of late in this roster. So I, for one, hold out for it. It's been locking down window. But will they be ready for the B play? 100 Thieves setting up with 5 in the apartments if you include those players lining up the deep cat smokes from the back of Spawn. They're going to run late through B. And here comes the cavalry.
Yeah, get those double arch smokes down. That's going to create just a wall of vision here. It's going to isolate Daps at least for the time being. Liaz found his way all the way to sight, but that is just all going to be in vain. Daps, having gone through the smoke, find some kills, and now Akusta ends the map. We're going to see this one go 16-10 Gen.G. Make it look convincing. They make it look easy on the CT side. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dive into Mirage before we look ahead at Dust 2. Don't move. We'll be right back.